So I got sent a link to an article that talks about um, gay kids coming out in middle school, so grade 7 and grade 8. They're 12 and 13 years old, and they're coming out in middle school. They know that they're gay. And the article covered a couple of topics. The first question is, how do they know? Even the gay author of the article asked this to one of the kids. Just kind of slipped out of his mouth in one of his interviews. How do you know? The kid was 13. I think it was a guy. Um, and I asked that question to myself too when I was reading the articles. How do they know? But then I really started thinking about it. And you've seen my his being gay choice. I I knew at the end of grade 6 when I was 12. I knew. I knew I was gay. That's when I really realized that it was like, yeah, that's me. Went through a year where I tried to change that. Didn't happen. But but I knew I was gay. If I was really mature about it and true to myself right then and there, I would have been out at 12. No question about it. Maybe even 11. And if the information had been provided to me and we lived in a perfect world, I probably would have figured out by like grade 3. Because I think it was grade 3 when I had my first crush on another guy classmate. That was my first crush ever, really. And so it's not a surprise um, that somebody can know that early. It's not at all. Second question was, how do people, how do kids who haven't had sex before know that they're gay? Haven't had sex with um, same gender or the opposite gender? How do they know they're gay? I started thinking about that too. It's probably more obvious to somebody who hasn't had sex to know that they're gay than somebody who has had sex. And the reason is, take take somebody, take a kid who knows he's gay and hasn't had sex. He has never even remotely wanted to have sex with girls, is what that means. Ever. He probably knows a lot more than this other kid who's questioning whether or not he's gay and has had sex with another guy. I mean, when you think about it, as human beings, we're attracted to sexual activity. We are. We're attracted to climax. We lust. It's what we do. And so, a guy or a girl who experiments in their youth but turns out to be straight may think back and wonder, well, why was I so attracted to what we were doing back then? And the reason is, you weren't necessarily attracted to the person you were doing it with. The person doesn't necessarily have to be the ideal partner. You were just attracted to the act. You were attracted to the climax. You were attracted to the sex. It was the lust that was driving you in that experience. And this, of course, all comes back to, you don't have to be gay to have gay sex. And you don't have to have gay sex to be gay. Um, and so, when you think about it, if you take a kid who says, I think I'm gay, who hasn't had sex before, he's probably more certain about it than the kid who has had sex and says he thinks he's gay. Just putting that out there. And it really got me thinking because the he was interviewing this middle school with like 800 kids in it that had a gay straight alliance. My middle school didn't have gay straight alliance. Neither does my high school. But and I'm in Canada, right? Aren't we supposed to be gay haven? No, but yeah, and it was like 50 of these 800 kids wore pink shirts and in celebration of the Silent Day. about gay hate, right? And I was just like, I, I can't picture that happening in in my school, and I can't picture that. Couldn't picture that happening in my old school either. And it's like, that's something I want to change. Uh, I do want to come out in school. What I'm really doing is waiting for the hockey season to get rolling, because I don't really want to kick off a hockey season with okay, we've won a couple of games. By the way, I'm gay. Yeah, no, it's not really. Don't want to drop a bombshell early on. So I'm thinking mid-November is the new time frame. I had to be realistic. I had to hold myself back in order for the hockey season to start up, because it did start rather late this year. Um, and so that's the update on that. And it's just these schools with this, progressive activity, and in some cases in conservative areas, and it's really giving me hope for a better tomorrow. I hear it from my older viewers all the time through messages and whatnot, of how they never thought in their lifetime they'd ever hear the words gay and marriage in the same sentence. And it just, if 40 years can do that for them, what's 40 years going to do for me? What kind of changes am I going to see? I'm really interested. Anyways, this is my thoughts. I'm really interested to hear your guys' thoughts on this. Comments below. I'll see you guys later.